to me, it didn't come to me as a surprise. During the campaigns, prior to the elections, I always maintained that APC will retain the presidency. That has been my belief. And, despite the fact that the election generated a lot of controversies, I am not in the position to lay claims or assume that the claims are right or wrong. There are means of addressing those issues. If the candidates of the other parties are not satisfied with the election, the civilized thing to do is to approach the court. If the evidences are overwhelming enough, the court can, in their wisdom, or do what is right, if actually something was wrong with the election. But that's the way I see it. But for me, I expected that Bola Ahmed Asiwaju would succeed Buhari. Yeah, there was a post on Facebook by a friend, and my comment was Peter the Rock. Peter Obi was actually a rock. I've been trying to find out the realm he pressed into. A man is rare in our political environment, or even in our recent history, where a man will be talking and people will be crying. A man, a politician, even Peter Obi, that was a governor, a total governor in Anambra State, articles running mate in last election, could come and he was able to attract this kind of court followership, trust, and belief among Nigerians, not just the youths. His support base cut across every strata. Even my children were telling me about Peter Obi when each time they come back from school. Children of 4, 2, and you can imagine that is Peter Obi. So I felt that that's a very good move. He has not already defined the political terrain. People no longer, in summary, power has now returned to the people. Unlike before, we are in an entity. We hold the ticket of any party, maybe the APC or the PDP, and it's assumed that yes, this guy has won because of the ticket he's holding. It is no longer about the ticket of the party we are holding now. So Peter Obi has opened an entirely new page in our politics, and I think I give it to him. He is the man of the moment. Despite the result that was declared, Peter Obi has done well for himself, well for the Nigerian people. At least there is this belief, there is this trust that anybody from anywhere can vie for any position and win. So I give it to him. Yeah, let me talk about that where I live, because I don't know, I can't talk about another state. The Obi wave, the Obi hurricane should be watched. The two leading parties in quote should be watched. The Obi hurricane Obi. Let me just say that way, because if you're not careful, for instance, when I saw the pattern of votes in this part of this data north, where the governor, the sitting governor, who actually was the PDP vice president candidate, where he hails from, something told me that these guys are out for something. And if you follow them after the election, after the results were declared, they are even more relentless in trying to prove another point. March 11th elections should be watched out for across the nation, but particularly in Delta State. People should be careful. The two ruling parties should not think that it's game over. And maybe it's between APC and PDP, that those days are over. March 11th election, like I said, let APC and PDP watch their back very well. They should go back to the people if actually they want to live according to their past glory. Let me use that word, past glory, because present glory is in the hands of the people. If you cannot derive that glory from the people's activities and the way they vote, you are nowhere. That's the only thing I found out. However, as much as we know that the Labour Party wave is blowing seriously, people don't know much about their candidate. But you see, they have decided to even undermine that part of whether they know him or not is a non-issue. All they know is that they even prefer somebody that they don't even know to the ones that are already established. whom they have tagged part of the corrupt and the evil past. So whoever the APC and the PDP are presenting to the people, to the minds of these people that voted P2B, is already part of the problem of Nigeria. So party, to understand, as it is today, is no longer ready to manufacture the people. So if these two parties want to make any headway, they should go back to these same people. If they maintain their voting pattern, there will be an upset. 2023 election, to me, I will always give a pass mark when it comes to the role of money, because with the demonetization policy of the government of the day and the commitment of Mr. President to a free and a fair election where vote will not be bought, I think that the role of money has been drastically minimized, if not totally done away with. For instance, I always make reference to where I am or where I was on election day. In the past, I've been involved in electoral processes, not even now, over 4 elections. So I can tell you the ways money used to fly on election eve, election mornings, even in some cases where election was ongoing. But this particular election, people came to the polling units, they cast their ballots, and they go. We even saw people casting their ballot joyfully, even when it was like going to rain. People were so happy, they wanted to do it, and all of them were doing it to be. So they were voting without any financial inducement. A few persons that allegedly got money transferred to them, they are not proven, but I heard. They didn't even vote in line with the money they were given to. Because, for instance, if for instance APC or PDP gave 100,000 to, let me say, 100 people, the votes in the entire polling units, 5 polling units in my area, both parties not got to up to 100 votes. So that means the money failed. The money failed. So money played little or no role in this past election, and I want to believe that it should be like that going forward. If we go by the abysmal performance of the present member representing Anambra North in the 30th House of Assembly, this particular election is available for anybody to take outside the incumbent. The fact remains that Anambra North people knows how to respond to a non-performer during elections with their PVCs, and I don't expect them to do something different this time around. Majorly now that votes are like counting, majorly now that you see Beavers giving us the actual number of people that voted, reflecting in the result being released. So if you go by that, if people are allowed to vote based on the feelers from the various streets in every community in Anambra North, I see a new person entirely representing Anambra people. The general consensus is that even within his party, that the young man has not done well. Remove my biases as a party man. I am not speaking to you, 1, as another not person, 2, as one that hears from the people, and 3, as one that is on ground. Then maybe I have access to some information that has to do with projects, his capacity as a legislator in the House of Assembly. When it comes to those aspects of his engagement, he has not done well, and he does not deserve another term. Yeah, the errors that brought him maybe in his second term is understood, pardonable, but a third time will be disastrous. Personally, because I always speak from my own experience. Personally, and I think I'm speaking the matter of it because I've been sitting with people since over the past 4 days discussing the election, as doing the kind of preview on what happened. The fact is that if you are fortunate to be elected and sworn in, maybe go to the rigors of electoral tribunal, the legal issues, and finally find yourself successful in a seat, what this election has told us that you should be responsible. You should not disconnect yourself from the people. You should have it in mind or understand the fact that you are a servant, not for you to lord your wish, to lord your will on the people any longer. The issue of I've been elected for one tenure, then automatically next tenure is mine, it's no longer going to work. If you are not with the people will be against you, because power has come to the people. I repeat, people are now in firm grip of political power. They decide who goes and decide who will not go. And kudos to President Buhari and the INEC, I must say that. But the electoral process before now can be determined. I can sit and tell you who is going to win governor, House of Assembly, Senate, but now nobody can guess. Who would have told you that Ngozi had never campaigned now returned as member House of Representatives and Federal Constituency? What have we told you that Labour Party is even contending to reclaim its senatorial seat in Delta North? Labour Party, not even the APC. Would have told you that. I haven't checked that. I saw Labour Party also in, I think, as House of Rep elect in Delta Central. Okay, and I saw an SDP too. So you see, if you are not responsible, if you are not efficient, if you are not effective, you're on your own. People will just look at you, laugh at you, and wait for you during elections. But when you come, they have a way of sending you home, and then bring back somebody else to do the job better. Yeah, so it's an eye opener, and I welcome that development. There is no basis for such comparison. Oche is in a world of his own when it comes to. Oche is unarguably the best legislator to have come out from Delta North as far as this state is concerned, and maybe arguably the best in the state in terms of impact, in terms of influence, in terms of effectiveness, in terms of quality representation. So bringing Oche to the level of Mobi is an insult. Oche, in his 12 years in Delta State, even in his first 8 years, was already a household name in the state. Oche was known in Rogoland, Isoko area, the Eka Aziz, the Oshimi Aziz. Beyond this Seluku, there are some persons that don't know Mobi's name in Ibudu. As persons that don't even know Mobi's name in Obomba. Oche was a household name in the state. I mean, in the state. He built bridges, he built relationships across the state. So when he came back for his third term, he knew he was going to be the speaker. And when he became the speaker, of course, all of us saw his impact. To understand, people were even thinking, people were already hailing him the governor in the making, right? That is Oche for. So it is the popularity contest is an error. They don't let nobody come there. If you talk about representation as it concerns and not as a constituency, Oche's imprint there's no that Mobi cannot even equal it. At least he's ending his first eight years, right? Let me even talk about Oche's first 8 years. When Oche was 8 years in the house, I saw school buses that he donated, because the inscription was donated by Victor Oche on those buses to the whole secondary schools in Anota North. What do you mean? If Anota North has 20 secondary schools, that means Oche gave 20 buses. If there were more than 20, he gave that was what he gave. I also knew there was an empowerment program he held at the Pilgrim Baptist College. Everywhere was packed to the full, and a lot of things were given out to people. Empowerment, women, up to 1,000 women benefited. Keke, refrigerator, whatever you can think of, he gave those things to another not people. Mobi does not have such results. There's no such record. Mobi was a contractor to a constituency project brought by Victor Oche. Let Mobi tell us the contractors handling his project, if actually he has any. So there is no basis for that. Oche is miles apart of Mobi. And what would have, if Mobi had done well or done something close? But me, I believe that Anambra North cannot be stagnated. We should be moving from one level of advancement to another. If Oche did all that we created to him, what actually he did, we expect Mobi under an Anyoma governor or serving as a legislator under an Anyoma governor to have surpassed Oche's achievements in terms of attracting capital projects to Anambra North, in terms of empowering the people, in terms of creating or using his influence to get our people employed in the state civil service and other forms of empowerment. These things have been absent in the past 8 years. So, well, the young man have willingly or unwillingly, if it was a mistake on his part, owned up to his bad performance when he said that he believed that when Sheriff wins, that maybe he is more connected to Sheriff than the Okowa, that he will do better. So to me, I'm satisfied with that explanation. He has owned up that he will do better under Sheriff, but to me, it's not logical. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you could not get more from Okowa, who is like our brother, what tells you that an Orobo man? Now, first of all, we know Orobos by who they are. Let me not even go further. That you get more from, is it because he's your colleague in the house? If he's a colleague in the house, he would have also used that closeness as a speaker to even talk to the governor to give you things that will make you have good name in your constituency. So to me, those arguments are too dull, they are too lame, they are not things we should even rely on. So Emeka Nwobi has not done well compared to his predecessor. It is expected that he would have surpassed Oche's record, but unfortunately, he could not. Omagege and Omagege. The region is very simple. Omagege, as the senator representing the group of Delta Central, has brought legislation, representation to another level. The people, the group of people in quote, are very much happy with this achievement. I have been opportune to see the compendium of what Omagege did in past 7.5 years as a senator. I'm not from Delta Central, but I saw the compilation. Part of his project even cut across the states, including this Delta North, in the Abo area and even the Ela Axis. And I think, because a man is as good as his last result, I think that if we just want to get by his performance as a senator, they should allow him to govern the state. He has proved that he has the capacity. He has also shown that he has the doggedness. He has the contacts, and he has the ideas. But the ideas he has, I think that set him out. I've listened to his manifesto. I've gone through his the manifesto, the age, whatever, and I saw a man that's ready to develop Delta State. Delta should give Omagege a chance. Outside the Obi Hurricane, the Labour Party Hurricane, the candidate of the PDP is a misfit. Bringing Omagege side by side Sheriff, no sane human being will pick a Sheriff ahead of Omagege. He may not be a perfect person, but we are judging from the options available. Omagege, Sheriff. Agege is far a better person, more qualified, more exposed, more refined, and readier for the job. Unlike Sheriff, who we all know that Governor Okowa brought. Because prior to the electoral process, Sheriff was not even a major name that people were speculated that maybe would succeed Okowa. So how it now came about that Sheriff became the candidate of PDP makes me again to go back to my age-long belief that a process that gives birth to a sheriff as a candidate should not be encouraged. PDP had other names, well exposed, reputable robosons that the governor threw his weight behind Sheriff, and Sheriff emerged. Though I bet controversies about his credentials and his personality and other things, but they went ahead, and today they've presented him. And if you watch Sheriff during the campaign, Sheriff has shown the level of disaster that he is now, even as a candidate. So I don't think it would be wise for Deltans to look at the man again and look at Sheriff. Party sentiment aside, these two personalities are people you cannot compare. Agege is more development oriented. He has more ideas. He has more exposure. Don't forget that in Abuja, he wasn't a write-off as a deputy Senate president. He was fully in charge. His capacity there are very, very obvious. We saw what Omoyege did as a senator. So let's give Omoyege that support. I want to ask Delta to support Omoyege in the interest of the state, not party. Thank God for power that get gone to the people. If Omoyege does not do well in 4 years, the votes can take him out. But as it is now, he's the best among the ones we have. I don't want to talk about the Labour guy because little is known about him. Except the OP Grace speaks. But outside him, I think Agege is far better. Yeah, they should always look inwards because a lot of them in the obedient movement too. As much as I'm not taking anything away from them, they should not use because of emotion and misjudge certain persons in other parties that are good as individuals. Because the obedient movement they've come with this narrative that when you're in PDP, you're in APC, you are an evil. It's not. They shouldn't. That generation is an error that might hurt us in the future. They should look beyond that. They should look beyond that. OBO, but they should also know that everybody in the ruling party and the APC and the PDP are not as bad as the system tends to make them look. So they should go beyond that sentiment. That emotionalism will not help us. They should look at the capacity. They look at the personality of the persons involved. Yeah, platforms are there. People must run for offices through a platform. Be it PDP, be it Labour, be it APC. That does not, we don't demonize the person along with the party. That's what I will never accept. So I want to appeal to them to look beyond that level of, because we might, in trying to correct an error, create more disaster. Politicians are tricksters. They've coined this obediently, they find obediently Agege to sway these people. Obedient people should first of all understand the fact that they were never wanted. In Delta State, P2B struggled to get a space for his campaign. Even when the Sherified movement was in Delta State, what was their take? Did they fight for him just to have a space to campaign? Then they now managed and they got arcade for a presidential candidate, a man that was pulling crowd all over the state, now close to his own state, Delta State and Anambra. You gave him arcade, and today you are talking about the blend. Obedient cannot be certified. It's an error. The partnership is like strange fellows, you know. A couple contemplating marriage, also planning marriage, also contemplating divorce immediately. PDP will disappoint obedient. That is it. Obediently, Agege is even more acceptable to me, because aside the Labour Party in Delta State and the APC in Delta State are almost looking for the same thing: how to unseat the present danger in the state, because Okowa and whoever continues from Okowa through Okowa is a potential danger. So the best thing to do is let APC and PDP, APC and the Labour Party even team up to get these guys off that seat. So Agege, obediently Agege, I go with it. Obediently Sherified is a no-no.